I was actually looking to do another video when something popped up on my Instagram feed and I just couldn't believe my eyes.
You're not coming in. You're not coming in. Simple as that. You're not coming into our sacred spaces. You're not coming in.
This is sacred ground.
You're not coming in. You're not coming in.
Why not? Why can't I come in? Because I said you're not.
This is Larry Krasner's town hall at Mother Bethel Church at Society Hill.
Sacred spaces. You're not coming to our sacred spaces.
Where were you yesterday? Where were you? Where were you yesterday?
You're not coming in our sacred spaces. Simple as that. Because I said you're not coming in. I'm saying you're not coming in.
You have no right to tell
You're not coming in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're not coming in our sacred space. You'll see what it means. I don't care. You'll see what it means to come up in here. You're going to see what it means.
Asa, don't threaten people. Don't threaten people, Asa.
We were trying to come to the event. They denied us entry. They have a human wall. They have the blue wall.
Here you see MAGA supporters or Charlie Kirk fans trying to force themselves into a black church in Philadelphia. Now, this is interesting because the black church, and we all know that the AME church, founded by Richard Allen, African Methodist Episcopal, was started in Philadelphia. One of the reasons why, well, black people just were not getting the same parity by going to church with whites. In other words, whites didn't want blacks in their churches, okay? And that was a system started through slavery. Sometimes you would have an overseer that would watch the black church services, and then maybe he got tired of that. So blacks had to go to churches by themselves, schools by themselves, because whites didn't want anything to do with black. All right. Now, what you're seeing in cities like Philadelphia, in HBCUs, which they have also threatened. Now these same whites who say, hey, we want to be away from you, we don't like what you're talking about, or we don't like your culture, they're showing up to black churches. It's all because some of these black pastors have been giving their opinion on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. So now MAGA is pulling up to these churches. And here are some of the responses from the black community.
Hey guys, it's Leash. Listen, so, God, why? I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. So, like, apparently there's this whole push for MAGA folks. I'm assuming it's, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming it's just white males of the MAGA movement that have been attempting to go, or are attempting to go into black churches to protest because of the sermons that were preached by certain black ministers about Charlie Kirk that was not to MAGA's liking, right? So you're going to go into these houses of worship to do what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going in there to, interrupt worship of God. You're going in there to cause commotion in the house of the Lord.
Let me just say this. The black conservatives that are content creators, had this be black people pulling up to a white church that was, basically saying that Charlie Kirk was like Martin Luther King. If these same blacks pulled up to these white churches, and let's say a white person would have hit one of these blacks, wanna know what they would have said? Well, see, they were there to cause troubles. They shouldn't have been there, okay? But now in the case of this, the blacks just caused a barricade. And to be honest, there were some whites out there, I'm pretty sure they're white liberals, acting as a barricade to the church. Now, they can't say anything wrong with that because they know that these guys are out of line, but they won't cover the story. And it's interesting that the black church, because we learned Christianity, at least the black Americans, I mean, obviously you have some of the Christianity in Ethiopia and in Africa, but through the slave trade, that's our religion now, all right? We learned Christianity from whites. And what they're saying when they're coming into these churches is the only form of Christianity that matters is ours. White evangelical or white MAGA or Charlie Kirk Christianity is the real Christianity. What you blacks do is not Christianity. Your places of worship doesn't matter. And again, whites are getting more emboldened with this. You would never find this. Like in the 90s, 2000s, whites would not feel any kind of security in walking into a black church unless they were going to do something like Dylan Roof. That's the only way. But whites going into black churches now to cause a scene? That's ridiculous. And again, like I said, you have black conservatives that support this. What are they trying to tell you? We don't respect you. It doesn't matter. We're emboldened. And let me just say this, because I've caught some criticism because I've endorsed Trump and I voted for Trump. And because of, blacks who voted for Trump, this is what would happen, right? If I would have known that confrontations would have gotten this bad, I probably wouldn't have endorsed anybody. I probably would have just stayed out of the election, to be honest, right? But I will say this. Here's what you don't understand. This tension, in my honest opinion, wasn't started by Donald Trump. This tension has been building for years from Democrats. Now, MAGA, of course, we already know that they have already been feeling the pains or whatever they want to classify, but the tension that America was getting, like during the Barack Obama administration, Black Lives Matter started. I mean, you had the Trayvon Martin, you had Mike Brown, you had all of these killings of people, Sandra Bland, during Barack Obama's administration. And so what happens is that the hatred towards blacks have always been there. And so what's happening now is a result of how they've been feeling. And I think if Biden would have won, it would have just made things maybe even worse. Not making excuses for it, but it was going to come to a head eventually. Okay. And also, one of the reasons why you got blacks on the right, why you have a lot of what you call black sellouts, is because of what Democrats don't do for blacks. That's why. That's why you have racial tension so bad. You have your whites who are already pissed off. Then you have white liberals who are apologetic and pushing everything and all kind of inclusion except for what they're gonna do for the black community. Then you get blacks who are tired of Democrats, who are upset. That's why Kamala Harris didn't win. That's why the black vote started to shift in places like Cook County, even though he won Illinois. That's why Trump won every swing state, because of the tired of the buffoonery of the left. That's why. And also the right's racist. I'm gonna be honest and tell you it's the racist. But all this is just a result of how they've been feeling. Been feeling like this since 2015. Dr. Claude Anderson told us that white resentment towards blacks would be increased by 2015. These white people honestly believe that they're tired of saying that, listen, you gotta help these blacks, you gotta help them come up, you're racist because you don't wanna be around them, you don't wanna marry them. They tired of that. And so what blacks gotta do in spite of that is we gotta depend on each other more often. That's something that blacks don't wanna talk about. We gotta depend on each other more often. We're gonna have to be more responsible for how we work with each other. And I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of blacks don't wanna hear. We may have to reconsider, and I know that we may not get parity as much, but we may need to look at investing some of our time in the global black world. We may have to do that, okay? We may have to, for our own goods. We might need to be able to depend on, other outlets, other places around the world. Don't gotta be Africa, might be Jamaica, might be Ghana. We have people there. We might need to leverage certain things. Even though I understand there's a disparity, we may have to leverage certain situations right now because all of these whites are leveraging situations. I can tell you how, I know. When that white lady got killed in North Carolina, it wasn't about the fact that she was white. It was that they saw that she was Ukrainian and it could have been her, which was white. And all the white folks ran with it. You got a lot of these same white conservatives, almost half of them want us to stop funding Ukraine. But when that white lady got killed, Irina Zarzuzka, they were serious about that because they understood the threat, okay? We're gonna have to start to really depending on each other and also abroad. First in America though, okay? We're gonna have to have some plans. Because what is coming down the pike, man, this is gonna get worse, okay? And I think no matter who the president was, and I think that maybe why we don't have a lot of mass violence right now, or racial violence, is because Trump is in office. I think Biden, more of that stuff, I just think it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. And a lot of these blacks out here are tired of the black community. Many people feel like the black community is worthless. I'm talking about these black conservatives. They have gotten nothing from it. They can't get nothing from it. They are big detractors. They would rather be over there with the whites. And that's why every day you keep seeing the right get more and more. I'm talking about the MAGA blacks. They are many now. It's not like it was when I first started. They are many. I'm not MAGA. I'm a registered Republican. I'm not MAGA, okay? And I will vote for any candidate that you actually believe that will do something. But the Democrats, almost for certain, they ain't gonna do a damn thing. Everybody knows that. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, City X, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Pretty sure for all that you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.